Received quite a few comments from some of you saying that my coverage of War Thunder recently is fairly negative. As a response to that, fuck you. Sometimes War Thunder does need its coverage in a way, you know. Caution is a company that needs to be held accountable for the things that it does wrong. So as such, we're going to do at least a video on 3 things I'd like to see in War Thunder. Now, I could talk about new vehicles and updates and all sorts of things, but today we're going to be focusing on very specific things. These are things that I think would immediately make the player base more appreciative of the game, or at least improve quality of life. Now, to Gaijin's credit, they have been doing a little bit of quality of life every major update, but there seems to be a bit of a 2 steps forward, 3 steps backwards kind of approach to most things that this company does. So, overhauling the map banning, or should I say map dislike and like feature, would be a fantastic option. Currently, for ground forces and for aircraft, you're allowed to ban 1 map, and you're allowed to like 4 and dislike 2. Now, that probably plays into something to do with the matchmaker I'm not going to discuss here or now, but I'd love to see expansion to 5 dislikes for both and 2 bans for both. That way you can at least ban some of the various modifications of Fields of Normandy. The 7 versions of Fields of Normandy that we love playing in our War Thunder game. It just makes things more cohesive. It allows us to really control what we are and aren't getting. I don't know. I don't really like having the 17th version of Sands of Sinai in a different position on the same map. Speaking of maps, in air-realistic battles and some degree air-arcade battles, there has been an increase in what I would call anti-aircraft in the middle of the map being a literal kill box at any tier between 1 and 3. Feels like flying over the center of the map with the objectives there. The anti-aircraft in the center of the map are so laser accurate they'll give you leaks and engine performance issues even if you're at 3,000 meters or trying to intercept another aircraft, and it is incredibly annoying considering that some of these aircraft aren't durable enough to really do anything about it. And I'm not talking about base defenses or killing helpless players, I'm talking about the playable area that you go fly over generally. Because 1 unit, if you even fly straight for a second, you're going to get 30 leaks, and it is incredibly frustrating, especially at, you know, lower battle ratings. So please, that'd be a change that I'd love to see this year, and it'd be a positive one because it would allow people to actually fight each other and play the objective more instead of having this environmental kill box system you've got going on with the center of the map's anti-air artillery. Now, my third and final thing that I'd like to at least change or have added to War Thunder. I would like a toggleable option or a slider or a volume slider for each different sound effect in War Thunder. Have a hard cap so you still have to hear these sound effects, for example, artillery or aircraft flying over or whatever, say it's 40%, right? If you can minimize it to 40%. I don't like having a match where overburdeningly all you hear is artillery, all you can hear is aircraft, and the tanks that are directly in front of you and around you aren't loading in their sound because, well, you can't hear anything else. Again, the fact that the player gun is insanely high, it's actually 30 decibels louder than anything else in the whole entire game, and I do reckon that the sound balance and, well, the sound effect, there's nothing wrong with the sound effects, but the sound balance is worse than it's ever been. And, well, in 2019 and 2020, they did an amazing job of directional audio, so much you can even tell the distance or what type of tank. Now, everything is on the same blending field, it's just loud. Everything is loud, and it's really, really obnoxious. Don't get me started on graphical issues pertaining to, well, optimization at the high end. Love for War Thunder to have a FPS cap, or a frame rate limiter, or something like that. As for someone who has got a really expensive rig, to go from 240 or 140 FPS or 160 FPS down to 30 when you're on a desert map is completely utterly useless. So I thought I'd offer some actual stuff that you can fix now, Gaijin, right? This is stuff you can do now that vastly improve the game. Honestly, it's a step in the right direction. I think I'll come up with another list of these in a video sometime soon. Anyway, stay tuned for my predictions of what's going to come for 2022. Right, those are 3 improvements that War Thunder could do to the game. you've been updated, and I'll see you in the next video soon.